Okay. So, next, the Kiwifarms is a 13 years old chap, which means that... Why is my kick not showing up right? There we go. We have some content to play. I would like to reminisce on some things from Kiwi Pass. Okay. Wait. Did that come through? Hold up. Hawaii. No, it didn't. Josh. I see. Ah, bro, I'm so pissed. Let me try saving. I'm going to start recording the kick thing so that I can download this. Okay. All right. So, here are some fun things that I remembered from the Kiwifarms. By the way, if you don't think that I'm a terrible false rape accuser, you can donate to the forum. I'm trying to get up to 600 donors so that I can continue my escapades. I should explain, in case anyone cares, the Kiwifarms is now like really fast. I have discovered, and this is a fun fact for anyone who is in technology, if you have a degraded disk array, even if you are not using it, you should immediately decommission that disk array, because as long as the degraded disks are in the computer and are enabled, the computer will make what is called interrupt requests continuously. And these interrupt requests will fill the bus, and you will no longer be busing. You'll be the opposite of busing. You'll be getting random 503 errors and 10-second page load times, despite nothing happening on that disk array. So, if you want to, if you have bad disk, you should remove them. They are quite literally a cancer that is killing your server. I did not know this, and as a result, my website has been slow as shit for forever. However, the new arrays are in. We're going to have 60 terabytes of space. We only have about 22 terabytes of content, but one of my things that I want to do is I want to get a parallel media processing card, which can handle 32 1080p streams at once. And once I have that, I'm going to go through the back catalog, and I've decided that this is the stack I'm going to do. I'm going to reprocess all videos across the entire site and into the future into 1080p AV1 and then 720, 480, 360 MPEG. And I will get an actual proper video player on the Kiwifarms, and you will actually be able to click and scan through videos on my website as if it were any other modern website. And it will be fucking glorious. It will be amazing. Everyone will be happy. Okay. I have ZFS. No, the raid that we put in, it's raid 10 ZFS. Okay. So I did everything right. Okay. I pulled it. It's going to be great. It's going to be huge. It's going to be bigly. Yes, it's gonna be awesome. Everyone will have a great time. So if you want to support my endeavors, make sure you subscribe to the Kiwifarms through Bill Pay. Okay. All right. Here are some fun things that I remember. I've probably shown these on like the anniversary streams of the forum that I've done in the past, but these are some of my favorite things. This post is a classic. This post is by the Pickler. This was something that we referenced on the forum for about 5 years after it was made. This is a post back when the Kiwifarms was just the Quickie forums, just about Christian. And the Pickler on August 2013 had this iconic message to share with the world. It says, "There will come a day in the future when this fat fuck will die, and we will have lost our most prized lulz cow. We should realize that this fat fuck is not forever. One of these days, he's going to get dick slapped by a homosexual black man, and then he's going to kill himself on YouTube in shame. Accidentally, I might add, because we know he couldn't technically do it himself. That is, after he pulls his pants down in church and uploads it to the lowercase I internet in order to prove he is straight. So when the time comes for his inevitable burial, that is when we must form a death day party for our friend Christian Weston Chandler. I'm saying that we should in real life crash and raid his funeral, turning it into a fun-a-roll, wearing Guy Fawkes masks and pickle suits, and all party hard with loud music, free food and drink. Flamboyant homosexuals are utmost welcome. We should spend the time there giving all these sincere mementos and speeches about how Christians sucked and how the state of Virginia will be better off now without him and his now that he and his mysterious smell have finally dissipated. Then, after finished telling our audience every minor detail, complete with projector screen showing every quick video from the Quickville Library YouTube channel, in chronological order, I may add, we will all proceed to spit, fart, piss, shit, and masturbate on his tombstone, kicking it and screaming, "Fuck life, what a waste, fuck your life, what a waste," and write, "Rest in pieces, fag," on the headstone, while others made pour pickles and tartar sauce all over his grave. Firecrackers are also a necessity. I would suggest lighting them off to start our raid, as hundreds of picklemen storm out the gates, often open blasting confetti by bystanders. I'd itch to dig up his corpse and set it on fire, but I digress. That would be too much, because the smell of burning ass and Axe body spray would be far too much to handle. However, I will say by the time we start to close out, we will bring forth the shattered remains of his treasured Sonichu medallion. We sprinkle the hardened Crayola model magic shards on the mess of pickles and tartar sauce like nuts on a sundae. The cherry, you may ask, his high school ring. I'll stop there. I think you get the picture. So, iconic post, truly one of the best posts ever made in the history of posts. Okay. I remember it 13 years later. By the way, I'm thinking of doing a silver coin run. I think I mentioned this before, but I have a very precise idea of how I want to do it. The issue is that silver is so expensive right now. I don't know if that would be a good idea, but I would like to do that. It's lucky number 13. Okay. Second, we have Brianna Wu tried to assassinate me via street racing. This was towards the end of Deagle Nation. I did a whole stream on Deagle Nation, very near and dear to my heart. This video is one of the finest videos ever put on the internet.
Hello YouTube, this is Jace right here, and this is my fucking car, or my mom's car, that when I was street racing, could not perform! Couldn't fucking perform on the road, and now the piece of shit is crashed, okay? I can't even kick the windshield out because it's made of bullshit plastic from Chinks, because I wasn't even fucking drunk, I was just racing, you know, like normal. I was trying to street race in the fucking highway, and look at this bullshit, look at this shit, totally useless. I hit and I fucking rolled on the ice, fucking rolled down here, and now look at this piece of shit. I'm a street racing god! Fuck! I'm a street racing god! And this is all because of Ivan and the rest of these terrorists. You fucking made me do this, and this isn't my fault. And just because the road was slippery doesn't mean I'm not a street racing god! I'm a commander of the United States Street Racers!
And the rest is like a message. In case you're wondering, he literally just got into a wreck in his mother's Prius. That is real. He was driving down the road normally in a Prius that his mother owned, and he had a little skerdoodle. He rolled over into the margins of the road, and as a aspiring MDE affiliate, Jan Rinkowski pulled out his phone and says, "I'm never going to get better content than this moment." And immediately on the spot, got into character and presented this concept that he was street racing Brianna Wu, because at the time Gamergate was the big thing, street racing Brianna Wu to the grave. And this video was so threatening that Brianna Wu actually called the FBI, and the FBI visited Jace as a result of this street race. And that basically ended MDE. After being notified by the FBI that Jan Rinkowski was an actor and that video was a comedy sketch, Brianna Wu continued to lie to the public about the veracity of such a video, and ended up in a actual like Hulu original, I want to say, called "The Internet Ruined My Life," where Brianna Wu played segments of this video and then breathlessly gawked at the camera and said, "It was terrifying. The internet ruined my life." Classic. Really just amazing. Brings back such sweet memories. Fine. Okay, this is actually before the Kiwifarms, but you may remember that I discovered this last year. In case you're wondering, this little index page was made by Claude. Thank you, Claude. This is the archive of Madcast. I had been trying to find the videos of King Raven playing Dota back in the beta for over a decade until someone discovered that on his collection of junk hard drives, he had actually downloaded the entire playlist, which included one of my favorite videos of all time. This is Madcast episode 21. Enigma walks up, literally lost media. King Raven liked to drop the N word, but he also worked at a university in Florida. So when people doxed him and reported to his university that he would go and have racist tirades on the internet, he was threatened with losing his job, which caused him to delete everything. Unfortunately, as a small-time Dota streamer, nobody made backups of these videos except one person who happened to use the Kiwifarms, and I was able to recover them. This video was so formative to me in my youth that I still reference it to my buddy Vinny until very recently. Don't know exactly which part of this video, but the gist is that it's a 3v5. Two players on the enemy team have disconnected. And in Dota 2, you can control the characters of disconnected units. And despite the fact that two players on the enemy team have disconnected, King Raven is losing. As you can see, the score is 30-15, and the three remaining players are assaulting the enemy base, which has caused King Raven's delicate psyche to break. And he has relayed this information about his displeasure about losing this match 3v5 to the remaining four members of his team. This is how that sounds.
Walk the fuck up and cast a spell on you idiots! It's so fucking...
Actually, I think the beginning shows the... Oh, this is it. This is the black hole. The best black hole ever. This Enigma is level 6. Nobody is playing him. And he just walks the fuck up and casts his ultimate on the entire team, which is actually being played. Yeah, let's see it. Here he comes. And they're just getting destroyed, demolished, wrecked by people that aren't playing the fucking game.
You guys let him walk up at level 6 and do that?
That Enigma doesn't even have boots. He just walked the fuck up.
Because you're fucking dumb as shit! Kids are fucking monkeys!
Look, I know I played this clip 1,000 times. You don't understand. This is like heroin to me. There's a video by Kurzgesagt where they talk about how fentanyl is just shitty heroin, and heroin's like the real deal. This is heroin. It never got better than this. This is where the internet peaked for me. This video where King Raven gets wrecked. Anyways, that's Madcast. This is one of my favorite videos from around the same time as the Brianna Wu street racing video. This is Fed Smoker. Now, I also did a video on Fed Smoker, and by far, one of the most iconic clips from the Fed Smoker era is this video where our boy, Herc, is standing outside of a Walgreens, and he is very displeased with the customer service that he received at this Walgreens. So he announces to the world that he might put this entire town up on the internet as baby rapers to get revenge for their poor customer service. While filming this threat, this declaration against the entire town of this Walgreens, a dog confronts him. Let's see how that plays out, chat.
Walgreens Americans. Been shopping here for about 3 months, and they haven't been being very kind to me here in Council Bluffs. Give me like that cold inbred fucking feeling when I shop in there. I'll be putting everybody on the net as baby rapers from now on if I even see a flinch around me in this town. I think the pigs might have got to them here and they feel like they can get away with that with me. I'll put your fucking chief on the net as baby rapers. I get snubbed one more time out of this store. You watch and see, bitches. I'm gonna put this dog on the net as a baby raper too. You fucking baby raper! You fucking baby raper!
Just amazing. Truly, pit bulls are baby rapers. I believe that is fair. By the way, both the stream I did on Herc and the thread for Herc are amazing. I would recommend them to you if you found that clip funny. If the idea of smoking feds and putting feds on the internet as baby rapers amuses you, that thread is a winner. I can't show you this one, but in 2016 during Gamergate, there was a... actually, I did a stream on her, too. Her name was... What the fuck is her name? I know her as Eyebags. Allison Rapp. She had put out an article about how gamers are problematic. And then it turned out that she had written some very problematic theses for her university study in Japanese culture because she worked for Nintendo as in like an American I think she knew Japanese, she had studied Japanese culture, she had a degree in it, and she wrote a very interesting thesis about how the United Nations should stop pressuring Japan to ban child pornography because child pornography is an innate part of Japanese culture. Very contentious opinion. However, that was not her primary issue. Her primary issue is that for whatever reason, she moonlighted on the side as a prostitute. And when Nintendo found out that she was working two jobs is against their rules, their terms of service. So she was fired, not for saying that Japan should not ban child pornography, but rather, for a toy company, but rather for moonlighting as a prostitute. By the way, she had a husband named Jake Rapp. They eventually broke up, and I think both of them got married and completely disappeared from the internet. So kind of a happy ending there. This thread, Schmorky is Daisy May, was the end of Schmorky's public existence. Famous early internet animator for Something Awful's Flash Tub. A user joined the Kiwifarms to post chat logs proving that Schmorky was talking to underage people and was fetishizing diapers and eating poop with minors. Which, by the way, the Kiwifarms, in case you're wondering, the Kiwifarms allows people to post wild, insane accusations because oftentimes they're actually just completely true. However, while I can't really go over the logs of Schmorky eating poop, what I can do is play a clip. Schmorky at the time had become agender, not properly transsexual, during a time in early internet, like mid-2010s, where transgender stuff was just becoming mainstream. Right before transgender stuff became super mainstream, there were Tumblr trends of non-binary genders and headmates, which Liz Fong Jones had multiple headmates living in his system. And Schmorky was like an agender gender blob who put on a very squeaky voice. So I'd like to play you about 30 seconds to a minute. Probably my favorite audio clip of all time. This is a conversation between Schmorky and his ex. Schmorky is the one with the squeaky voice. The crazy woman is Amanda Mullen, who also joined the forum. And for some reason, Schmorky published this on Something Awful, thinking that it would make him look good. Let's take a listen, chat.
Do you love me or not? Do you want to protect me or not? Because I already said I wasn't going to do anything.
Please don't touch me again, please.
I won't. I'll never touch you again, okay? I'll never touch you again. I'll just do what you want. What do you want me to do? I'll do whatever you want. What do you want from me?
Stop screaming and pretending.
I'm not pretending! What do you want from me? What?
What do you want from me?
I just want you to tell me what you want from me.
What do you want from
What do you want from me?
No. You're the one that's doing this right now.
I just want you to just tell me if you love me or not, or if you're in on this or not.
In on what? Tell me.
What they're doing to me.
Tell me what I have to say.
My parents.
Yes?
Are you controlling me for them?
No.
Well, there's nothing I can do anyway, so it doesn't matter. So even if you were, you won anyway. Even if you're not, you win, okay? Doesn't matter, because there's nothing I can do about any of these people. Okay? That's why I said I wasn't gonna do anything. That's why I said I was gonna go to the cops. I just said they won. I told them that they won.
Okay.
I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight back. I can't fight back. Okay? If Hitler himself came here, he wouldn't be able to save me, alright? Nothing. Jim Howe, they're unbeatable. They're unstoppable. There is no answer. There is no answer to the Jewish question because they always win. They always win, and they're mine, and I'm theirs. And there's nothing I can do about it ever.
Just an amazing clip. There you go. This one is for the beauty parlor. Amberlyn Reed's Aunt Tammy, who I recently featured on the Kiwi Farms because, or on the Maddie streams, because they had another tussle, and in this tussle, like back at the time, she came on and dumped all this hot goss about Amberlyn, and then years later, they're having a conversation, and Aunt Tammy has to say to Amberlyn, "Yeah, joining the Kiwi Farms was probably not the nicest thing for an auntie to do." Which sounded like an understatement, but it was very funny to me, and I appreciated it. Um, this is all. Oh god, I don't think I can show this either. Okay, so this is like my favorite thing that ever happened in the Dark Side Phil lore. So this is kind of like the flip side. This is also an example of, by the way, of how when someone is lying, it can also be really, really funny. This person joined in 2017 as the mystery woman and started making accusations that Dark Side Phil was hiring her as a prostitute escort often, and that he owed her thousands of dollars, and that she was going to continue busting his balls until he paid what he owed to her, which was thousands of dollars. And I can't remember why she was so credible, but she had information that lended itself to it being true. And when these accusations came out, Darkside Phil like really squirmed. And then this other shit, she posted pictures of like a young girl and said like, "This is me." And then posted pictures of like a toy baseball, like the size of like a cucumber, like in her vagina. And so, like, "Look, I am a real prostitute," like as proof that she's a real escort and has actually had a relationship with Darkside Phil for money. Darkside Phil completely failed to prove in any way that this was not true. And so it was up to the Kiwi Farms. We dug into her and we found out, based off some very old drama, that it was a couple in their 40s from the Netherlands who did like pornography stuff on early internet websites, and that's how we were able to find out who they were. Because we had access to a domain who is history thing, which is like expensive, so we had to pay to get access to the special database of domain who is information. And we found out that in 2002 they had owned a domain in their real names before switching over to a privacy system, and we were able to identify them as Dutch pornographers that did stuff together as a couple. And she had used her vagina and her own daughter's photo together to show this is her and she's a whore and Darkside Phil owes her money. It was the craziest shit ever. Like, it was unbelievable that someone would do that. But Darkside Phil was very pleased, very relieved when the truth came out. It was a crazy saga. One of the only good memories I have with the Darkside Phil board was the Mystery Woman saga from 2017, early 2018. It was a wild ride. It was really fun. Then I didn't have anything for 2018. I forgot why. It was like Trump stuff or whatever. But in 2019, there was the Christchurch shooting, which is not a funny memory. However, the fallout of trying to host that video was, I remember this very distinctly. I was living in Ukraine, and the video, I somehow got a copy of it because someone sent it to me. And immediately after this video came out, the censorship apparatus basically obliterated it. People couldn't find it. So I uploaded it myself and tried to distribute it, and it completely overwhelmed the server. We had over 33,000, I think, people concurrent on the forum at the same time trying to access this file. And I ended up setting up my own torrent tracker to try and distribute the file as much as I could, which resulted in New Zealand threatening me, which resulted in me responding to New Zealand telling them to fuck off, which resulted in international media attention and a Wikipedia page for the site. I had to like apply very specific modifications to the database to keep the site up at all, which took me years to fix after the fact because I completely fucked up the database by optimizing it for this one specific scenario. And to this day, it's kind of debatable if it was even a good idea. But I did keep that video from being like deleted off the face of the planet. I will say this though, they were very afraid of it glorifying the shooter or whatever. But I actually got a bunch of requests from sheriff's offices in the United States that were afraid of a copycat shooter. And they specifically requested that I distribute this file to them somehow because they couldn't figure out BitTorrent. Um, they wanted a copy of it so that they could do a training session on dealing with a copycat shooter. So while New Zealand was busy trying to obliterate any evidence that this file even existed, sheriff's offices in the United States were using it to train on. So I consider it a win. I think that it was a good thing. There's no point deleting evidence, deleting information. Information is neutral. Okay, how it's used is the is what matters. Back to something awful. I had a lot. I don't know. I very fondly remember all the something awful drama that happened on the forum, because the forum was like a neutral ground for like something awful stuff to transpire. So there was a point in 2020 to 2021 where Low Tax was kind of losing it. His forum was super woke, super gay, super cringe, and Low Tax was like an absentee father that was just beating around the bush, collecting paychecks. And at some point, he broke up with his wife and hooked up with this Mormon woman called Logan Day. I also did an interview with Logan Day. And by the way, the interview with Logan Day, she was a lot worse at telling her story. And that interview went very poorly for her. So if you want to see what that looks like, I also did talk to her because she broke up with Low Tax and accused him of all sorts of shit. And then Dick Masterson had Low Tax on to cope about how women are terrible. Maybe that's what I should strike up some kind of deal with Dick Masterson where every time I interview like a BPDX, Dick Masterson can get the rebound interview and we'll just split the proceeds that he gets from that interview and we'll just call it fairsies. Okay. That'll be our scheme. But she literally, okay, so he already had an account from the Schmorky days, but Logan Day literally joined the forum as Mormon BPD Coke whore, and they had a falling out that was public on the forum. She accused him of all sorts of shit, and it really looked like for a while that Low Tax wanted to clean up the forum and like fix it and stop being such a lazy piece of shit. But then he just immediately fell back into like a slumber and did nothing. And then he shot himself in the head with a 5.7. So that's how that story ended. Very interesting time. In the 2020s, we finally got to see the breakup between the Gator Gamor and Ethan Ralph, which resulted in perhaps the most iconic video of Ethan Ralph's entire career. Let's take a look, chat.
Sorry, Gator! I'm on the way home, bitch! My arrival is fucking imminent! Let's fucking go!
So this was back when Ralph had life in him and wasn't like a hollowed out husk of a man. He had just gotten his ass beat in Portugal, which is why his eyes are all fucked up like this. In case you're wondering, he's listening to Freebird, I think because there was some allegation made by Godwinson, R.I.P., that the Gator Gamer... Oh, I remember what it was. Gator's favorite song was Freebird or something. So Godwinson, every time he like did a video making fun of Gator, he would always do it to the tune of Freebird so that it would Pavlov condition Gator to associate his favorite song with people making fun of him on the internet. Ralph was told this by Godwinson. So when he doxed Gator and did his big triumphant video, he set it to Freebird to try and further bully Gator into Pavlov hating his own favorite song. So that was a time. I don't know. I don't know if that's why PPP and Andy Worski grift to Freebird. I'm not sure if that's the origin of that. I don't think it is though. Just a very yeah. Godwinson died. He died of a cocaine overdose. It's really very tragic. In 2022, 2023, we survived. Dropped Kiwifarms. I already talked about Liz Fong Jones. Unfortunately, simply terrible person. Who's still around, unfortunately, despite being such a terrible person. I I meant to talk about this before Turkey Tom, but I guess I could say it now. While Kiwifarms was dealing with Drop Kiwifarms, Moot, on the other hand, was apparently having fun with Epstein on Epstein's Island. Why is it doing this? It's fucking DOJ vibe coded this shit. Here we go. So there's this cool kid you should meet, Christopher Poole. So this is October 2021. He's only 2023. Read his bio. And I believe that how this was explained to me, because I was never much of a poll person, is that oh yeah, he even responded to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. Is that Moot met Epstein like on Epstein Island, and then the day after these email exchanges, poll was undeleted on 4chan. Oh, and in case you're not following the news, Jeffrey Epstein would post or share 4chan.org/GIF threads by email, and the GIF threads were like source filmmaker, Five Nights at Freddy's, like Fuda face rape porn. So if you want to know who you're gooning with when you're doing the Turkey Tom death grip on 4chan, you're literally gooning with Jeffrey Epstein and your Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay. I'm not joking. He literally was sharing links to threads of 3D animations of Five Nights at Freddy's Fuda face rape porn. And if you're gooning on GIF, you're gooning with Jeffrey Epstein. This is not even a joke, okay? That's what's happening. That's what you're doing. So anyways, after he met with Christopher Poole, I guess Epstein said, "Hey buddy, hey Moot. So you had fun here. I expect Poole to be back. I need my BBC BNO threads, and I can only get that on Poll. It doesn't hit the same when it's on GIF, okay? I need it on Poll next to all the political content. So I need you to bring that back for me." And Moot obliged, and Poll to this fucking day still exists, okay? That's not a joke either. It was literally like the day before that he was on Epstein Island. Next, Anime Sucks, Cope, and Sneed. This was from 2 years ago, featuring a familiar face. This was Nick Rekieta, the last moment that really he was entertaining, trying to read a super chat from a familiar name. I know, it was 2 years ago. Can you believe it? It was only 2 years ago that Nick Rekieta was masturbating completely fucked up out of his mind to a picture of a fat purple dragon sitting in a car eating pizza and farting. Okay. And lastly, on my list of little memories was one of my favorite things from the Locale of the Year Media Awards. It was when 4chan got hacked and the Shardy people, despite having complete and total access to the website and the ability to do anything they wanted, simply chose to bring back the QA board, delete all the other boards, and put Tuhu music on everything, which was just perfect and reminded me of the good old days when things were just friendly, fun chaos and not soul-crushing agony all the time. Very fun, very cool. Thank you, me, for hosting this website, and everybody else who posted on it and made it a fun place to post for 13 years.
Thank you for watching this clip. This is the CACA Loaf. Remember to like and subscribe.